Hey guys and gals, welcome back to Jus Piddlin BBQ Live Weekend Review. Smitty here with my lovely wife, Brandy. Good to have all you guys. Call out a few guys that showed up. Elvin, first in line tonight. Good to have you. Robert, Stephen, glad to see everything's doing well with you. Joe, Robert, good to have you tonight. Mike. Always good to have Mike in the house. Pickles Barbecue, good to have you. My brother Harley, good to see you, brother. Who else? Jason, good to have you.
Mark.
Mr. Mark, Smoky Joe Barbecue, good to have you. Jace, always good to see you. Blue Smoke Barbecue, good to have you. Albert. Good to see you, my man. Mr. Mark Summers, good to see you. Awesome crowd tonight. Good to have you, and I need to do a better job with this too. I know we have people that watch on the replays, and for all you guys that are watching on the replays, we're glad to have you too. Glad you watch the replays if you can't catch it live, and so we want to thank you as well. And whether you're catching it live or on the replays, please hit that thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing and hitting that bell so you get a notification every time we post one of our videos. So we appreciate all you guys and thank you for what you do. If you're able to share everything, please share it. Tell everybody about the channel, and whether they're a barbecue person or just want to be entertained by some dude piddling in the backyard, let them know about our channel. So we appreciate all of you.
Harley's on the road.
Yeah, Harley's been in Memphis, and I think he's on the way back via Mississippi and Alabama. So drive safe, brother. Love you. Rick's Barbecue and Specialties, good to have you. Miss Delana, good to have you. Did you get yourself any knives this morning with the Amazon discount? I did not. I didn't even.
I don't know that was going on.
Me either. Didn't have a clue. Papa C's Barbecue and Brew, good to have you. So thank everybody for showing up tonight. Good crowd tonight. Got a couple things to talk about. Couple things that's kind of been going on this week, and need to fill you in on what's going on this weekend too. So dollar to the person who can tell me where I got the bones and notches for Buenos Noches. Listen to that cat. Open that door, please.
She's
I can't.
Right there.
I know, but I can't let her hear that. Sounds like she's dying. We've got the weirdest animals on the planet. I'm telling you right now. Weirdest animals on the planet. Yeah, Sam, come on in. It's like the
oh hush.
Wild Kingdom.
What'd you do to your sister? No.
So good stuff. Anyway, good stuff. I lost my train of thought. Miss Rhonda, good to have you tonight.
Where's my girl? There's my girl.
So good stuff. Hope you can hear me all right. I try to put the microphone where I can pick up everybody, but that was kind of weird. So, all right. So first things first, channel update. Subscribers were 4,872. So picked up about 50, 51 subscribers. 58, 51.
51 in a week.
51 subscribers. So that's pretty good. Good stuff. And you know, I was thinking again yesterday, sometimes it's hard for me not to get frustrated, I guess, because I know there's some guys, there was about 3 or 4 guys that started the channels about the same time that I started mine. And I mean, some of them they've just taken off. I mean, 10,000 more subscribers than I have now. and I can't put my finger on why. Maybe it's me. I don't know. But, at the end, like today when I was driving home from work, I've got about a 15, 20-minute drive from work every day. And I kind of like that sometimes because it gives me time to think and everything. And I just kind of thought to myself, I just got to do what I do. And my channel is going to grow, um, you know, at its own rate as it grows. So um, I don't know. Maybe I hope it's not anything that I'm doing wrong. I'm not sure exactly what they do differently, or I can't put my finger on it. But all I can do is what I do and be who I am, and put the videos out that I think are good videos, and let the chips fall where they may. So that's just what we're going to do. So we're going to keep rolling with it. If you guys have any suggestions or think that, I need to improve on something, I know there's a lot of stuff I need to improve on. But I just have to have the means to do it. I know I need to improve on sound, for example. And I've looked at some different microphones and things like that. And I need to get my own camera and stuff like that. I've been borrowing my daughter's, but it'll come with time. So anyway, I appreciate all you guys and gals support. Justin, thank you very much, man. Solid every single week, and I surely appreciate that. That goes a long way. So I can't thank you enough. Pickles Barbecue, I'm a little channel, but more than happy to see people do well. Yeah, absolutely. And the people that have done well are well deserved. No doubt about it. I've just got to keep plugging along, and it'll all come together. So how long have I had my channel? I started my channel December 16th of 2016. So really around January 2017. So 17, 18. So really about two and a half years. About 2.5 years. So
Mark, you need to blank it up, add some dancing girls. That is not going to happen.
Mark, I like the way you think.
No.
I like the way you think, and I was gonna suggest that this afternoon, but since you brought it up, what do you think, babe?
Not happening.
Not happening.
Not here.
I agree with Justin. Keep doing the quality of your channel is on par with the best of them. Jace, I appreciate that. I appreciate all of you. Thank you for that. And I don't say that to get those kind of comments. Sometimes I appreciate the fact that you guys allow me to think out loud to y'all. And so I appreciate you allowing me to do that. So
yes, he has another sounding board besides me.
Yeah. And sometimes y'all are more understanding.
Whatever.
I bet a lot of them like Mark's idea.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
I bet Jace would have liked that idea.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure, no doubt. I mean, just like you'd rather have me prancing around in a bathing suit in the back of your videos. No, that's not going to happen either.
Elvin, and I agree with you with that 100%. I really do. I agree with you 100% with that. The subscribers that I have, I wouldn't take anything for. And that is one thing that I think that I haven't done that I think some channels do. And if you're a channel and you do this, by no means am I saying that you shouldn't do it. I've just chosen not to. I don't like the subscriber for a subscriber type stuff, because at the end of the day, I want somebody to subscribe to me because they truly enjoy my channel. I don't want them to subscribe to me because I subscribe to them, and that be the only reason. Because at the end of the day, if that's the only reason why they subscribe to me, then they're really not going to watch my videos. I want people that are legitimately watching their videos and the numbers are legit and true. And so I feel good about the subscribers that I have and that kind of thing. So it's not always about the numbers. So, and I appreciate you guys for helping me realize that sometimes. So again, thank you for that. David Cooper, love your channel and the weekend early morning live. It's great for weekends off and to have on in the background when I'm at work. I appreciate that, and that brings me to another point real quick. I had a pretty good amount of people this week send me messages just to let me know that they weren't able to catch the live show, but they did watch it on the replay. And you don't have to apologize for missing it, or like there was one guy that apologized for not being able to catch the live show on Sunday mornings because he's out west, and for him it would be like 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm not getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning to watch anybody either. So, um, you know, I totally understand. That's one of the reasons why I like doing an early morning show on Sundays, but then an afternoon show on Wednesdays, because that gives people the opportunity at some point during the week to maybe catch one of the live shows. So, no problem at all. I just appreciate the fact that you guys are watching at any time. So, again, if you're catching it on the replays, I certainly appreciate you guys just as much, and thank you for checking it out. So, so let's talk about what we've had going on lately. First off, uh, let's talk about some barbecue stuff, because sometimes I feel like on these lives we don't talk about enough barbecue stuff, um, because we always get sidetracked with something else. Do you feel that way?
No.
You don't?
No.
I always feel like we're like, maybe this is just me, and don't. But I always think, they're probably thinking, why don't we even show up for these live barbecue shows? Because we don't even ever talk about barbecue. We're talking about something else. But
we talk about life.
Yeah.
I mean, hey.
Maybe that's what we need to call it. Just Piddlin life.
That's about all it is. It's just Piddlin life.
Anyway.
Barbecue.
There was another YouTube channel I looked at today, Meat Cranium. Yeah. He was doing a Q&A, and he wanted people to submit some questions. And I submitted a question to him to, curious to see what his answer would be. But then I also wanted to talk to you guys about the same question. So the question that I posed to him was, give me 3 must-have tools. It's like a revolving door.
Oh, stop.
3 must-haves tools that you would like to have in your backyard for your cooks. I have kind of my 3, but I want to see what his 3 were. So I don't know when he was going to answer those, maybe tomorrow or sometime this weekend or something, but I'll give you my 3, or at least 2. I'm not sure about the third one, because 3 turns into 5 or 6, but definitely 2. One of them is definitely a instant read thermometer. To me, that has changed the way I cook, and I've only been using those for a couple of years now. And admittedly, I used to be one of those guys that now I get aggravated at, which is a reminder that I shouldn't get aggravated, because everybody had to start somewhere. We all started somewhere. At some point, we didn't know a thing about cooking. So, but I used to be one of the guys that just cooked by time. If I cook it for an hour, it ought to be done. Well, yeah, it's done, but it was done probably 20 minutes ago, and you've just dried it to pieces. The only way to cook really good food is cooking by internal temperature. And the most accurate way to do that is with an instant read thermometer. What I have found is the most reliable is ThermalWorks products. I'll admit straight off the bat that I'm a ThermalWorks affiliate person. I have ThermalWorks affiliate links in my Instagram account and at the bottom of my videos. I haven't checked those in a while, so I need to check to make sure they're down there. But really great products. Now, I have purchased and have recommended some instant read thermometers that I've purchased off Amazon, and they work great. The only problem with those is they just don't last. And so you may save money on the front end, but by the time you purchase 3 of those, you could have purchased one Thermapen and been done with it. And the biggest problems that I've had with the cheap ones is most of the time those aren't waterproof, and I always forget them out there. They get rained on, and then they don't work anymore. So, but cooking to internal temp with an instant read thermometer, that's number one. That changes everything, and you cook a lot better food when you know the food is done, but the food is not overcooked, and that's a game changer. The second thing I think, and I love it, I love having it, and it serves a lot of different uses, but it's the pigtail flipper. Most of you are going to know what I'm talking about. Some of you may not. But it's just a long straight, it looks like a piece of wire, but the end is curved like a pigtail, and it's sharp, and you can just stab a piece of meat, flip it over, and you just kind of unhook it, and it makes everything easier. Now, I have about 3 of them, I think, but one of them is really long. My buddy Mac had it made for me and gave it to me, but it's really long. It's longer than most of them. So you can reach back there far into the back of the grill and pick things up. It's really great for flipping bacon and that kind of stuff, chicken, all kinds of stuff. So I love that thing. And I would say that with a longer pair of tongs, especially for stuff like chicken wings where you got to reach back there in the back of your grill, comes in really handy. So those are definitely 2 or 3 of the must-haves that really makes your life easier. And then the third one, I don't know, it's tough because there's a lot of things that I like to have that now I don't know what I would do without. So I'll have to think about that third one. So I'll get back to you on the third one. But, what are some of the things that you guys have in your backyards that you would not want to barbecue without? Let me know what you guys have.
Mike's talking about him walking around in a two-piece.
Yeah, I don't want to see that. Yes, yeah. Well, we kind of talked about you cooking last weekend, but then
it's probably going to be like 3 weekends.
Rick's Barbecue, Thermapen, gloves, and shade. Shade, that's a good one. I like that. Gloves is big. And I will tell you, when I first started my channel, I didn't use gloves, and now I'm probably one of the world's worst about using probably too many gloves. And I'm sure the dude that I got a comment from a week and a half ago that informed me that the gloves are what's deteriorating our planet, I'm sure he loves that comment. So, but I'll use gloves all the time. It makes cleanup a lot easier. Plus, it just keeps cross-contamination from happening. I'm going to be honest with you. I still cringe watching some people's videos, and they do it even with gloves on, which blows my mind. I was watching a demonstration, a cooking demonstration from a one of the most well-known barbecue pit masters on our planet the other day was doing a demo. He had 2 gloves on, and he was touching the meat and flipping it over and telling everybody about it. And then he reaches over and grabs his rub, and he's shaking that on. And then he reaches over there and grabs something else. Well, it doesn't matter if you have gloves on, if you picked up a piece of meat with both of them, and now you've contaminated this, you've contaminated that. Everything on the whole set was contaminated before he got done. And this is a huge top 3 barbecue pit master. Probably number 1 if you asked him. But every time somebody does that, I think, oh my God. And then I can't pay attention to their video because all of a sudden I'm drawn to what's he going to touch next. And so then all right, he touched that and that and that. So everything in his kitchen is cross-contaminated by the end of the day. That just blows me away. I also think that's something that as content creators for barbecue channels, that's something that we should all keep in mind in our videos. Not to say that I've never made a mistake as well, but I try my best to eliminate those kinds of errors when I do my videos. But gloves are big. A matter of fact, I just bought another box to add to the global warming.
Yeah.
Shade was good. And speaking of shade, that's one of the reasons why we have 2 canopies set up, one on each end of the pool out there. And that's where I have my grills, and usually a box fan as well out there. Beer. Mark, I can't even believe I can't believe that went number 1. That goes without saying. You're right about that. Earl started a telethon for a thermometer last week. Did we meet the goal? Absolutely. No doubt about it, Mike. And I've been in contact with ThermoWorks, and we're getting one coming, and going to try to get one for the 5,000 subscriber giveaway as well. So one of you guys, hopefully, fingers crossed, will be getting a ThermoPen Mark IV, along with a lot of other stuff. What else we got?
Who's your favorite?
Edwards, my top 2 favorite channel or subscriber names. Edwards, Sister's Hands. I still want to know what happened to what's his name?
I don't know.
Rick James.
Oh, okay.
Rick James. That cracked me up every time I saw Rick James. Super freak. Edward's Sister's Hands. I love it. You know far too much about pigtails. No, I was not born on a farm. 3 things you need to barbecue in the backyard: heat, smoke, and meat. That's a fact. Beer is definitely one of them. A good cooler always helps. My LSU apron. I'm not sure about that, Joe. Prep table next to my grills, and that's a good point. A good table, a good barbecue cart, something like that always helps as well. That's one reason why I built that cart out of the Silverbac stand that I had left over after I got the competition cart, and that thing has come in handy, really, really handy. My Grill Beast tongs, I use them a lot. Chimney starter, grill brush, tongs. Chimney starter definitely makes life so much easier for charcoal guys, no doubt about it. I even talked my brother Harley into getting a chimney starter. He didn't have one until a couple weeks ago, and has really enjoyed having it. But if you're a charcoal guy, you definitely need a chimney starter. Grill brush, definitely. A good one. And a lot of people knock the metal bristle brushes because there have been horror stories about one of the wires coming off and then people eat it and then they have to have surgery to get it out of their stomach or their throat or something. I can understand how that would happen, but I don't know. I think the wire brush bristles do work well. But I will tell you, if you're a Grilla Grill Silverbac owner and you have got that OCD kit with the grill jacks, those grill jacks clean a grill grate better than anything else I've ever had. So just the grill jacks, which also serve as a way to remove your grill grate without having to grab it, and they clean it and all that.
That's what I use.
Yeah, I love those. Love the grill grates, and I use them on the Traeger. I use them on the Kamado Joe. I use them on everything. Works great. Picked up a Grill Beast spatula. Big help. Now, I don't know what the Grill Beast spatula is, but Harley gave me a Traeger spatula. And let me see that scale right there, babe. And before any comments come up, Mike, this scale is for weighing the packages, like the mugs and all that, hats, so that I know what to pay for shipping so no comments about, got a drug scale. Get that white powder off of there, babe.
How's your
Anyway, I didn't say what I meant to say about the scale. Let me hold the scale. The spatula is bigger than this. I mean, it's
about that big. It just has a handle on it.
Okay. It's about this size with a handle on it. Anyway, it's a big, huge spatula, and it's got a sharp edge on it and all that. Love that spatula. So a big spatula is really good as well. Elvin, a girl prancing in a bikini, the instant read thermometer, and a sharp knife. Sharp knife. That's a good one as well. And a lot of people will disagree, but if you've ever tried to cut things with a dull knife, believe it or not, a dull knife is more dangerous than a sharp knife, as long as you use it the appropriate way and not get one of those scars like I got right there. I'm about to chop my hand off.
Crazy Pop on.
Crazy Pop, good to have you on tonight. So all these are good. These are good stuff. I go through gloves like toilet paper. Yeah, Smoky Joe Barbecue, he's like me. He's contributing to the global warming stuff. I still don't understand the expense of a big wooden cutting board.
Jace, ask
how do you clean wood cutting boards adequately? Okay, that's a great question. Jace, I'll give you my opinion on what I do. And
Robert's gone to bed.
Bedtime for me. Robert, appreciate you being out here tonight. Thank you so much. Good to have you tonight. Jace, back to his question. How do you clean wood cutting boards? Mm-hmm. I'm going to tell you what I do as far as cutting boards go and cleaning cutting boards. For me, and this is just me, everybody else can do whatever they want to do, but this is my advice. For me, wood cutting boards, and this goes back to the cross-contamination stuff and all that. I try not to use my wood cutting boards very much for meat. If I do, most of the time I try to keep those more for beef, stuff like that. I don't really like using my wood cutting boards for chicken much. We have different color cutting boards in the kitchen. We got a green one, a red one, a blue one, and then we got one that is just, it's like a whitish cutting board. But I like so get several different cutting boards. but get them to be more of a high density type plastic, food rated plastic, and pick one that's going to be just your meat cutting board. Pick one that you're going to do fruits and vegetables on. A wooden cutting board for me is usually for prepping vegetables and that kind of stuff, herbs and all that stuff. I don't really like using that wooden cutting board for meats a whole lot. And if you do, you need to clean it with, this is my opinion, but you need to clean it with some type of bleach, some type of cleaner that's going to be antibacterial, that's going to clean that stuff, that's going to get in those slices in that wood and make sure it kills all that stuff. Me personally, I just don't like using those wooden cutting boards for meat, especially chicken. I would rather use one of those other ones where you can really use a good cleaner on it and kill all that bacteria. So that's just my opinion on that. Also, like Harley says, Harley's got the disposable type cutting boards where you can just, use them for whatever you want to use them for, and you toss them and you're done. The only problem is those can be expensive if you have to replace a lot of them after a while. So,
Right here.
Grilla Chimp or Traeger Tailgater? Cool guy, Steven. Good to have you tonight. I'll be honest with you. I have both of them. I've cooked on both of them. As far as flavor goes, the food that you're going to get off of them is going to be pretty much equal. The difference is the way they're built, the legs, so on and so forth. And I'm going to have to give the edge to the Chimp on that. I got to be honest with you. Number one, it's taller, which makes it easier to cook on. Number two, the legs are easier to fold out. You've got the stainless steel in the Chimp. I like the exhaust system or the exhaust position of that a lot better than the Tailgater with it being on the back. It's got a latch on the hopper to keep that. They've incorporated some things on the inside that keeps everything from kind of jostling around when being transported and that kind of stuff. And so with all of that, I mean, I've got to give the edge to the Chimp as far as that goes.
Mike, I don't think he's reading much. He's just talking.
What are you talking about?
Mike says you're staying on point tonight. You're not reading all the stuff that they've
been
yeah, well,
y'all got some good questions going on here. As soon as I get through one, y'all come at me with another one. I like it. Jace, that's a great question. Me and Harley talked about that the other night. They are doing some revisions on the Tailgater. We just talked about that. Not sure exactly what the total details are as far as the revisions go. I do know that I think the legs are unfortunately going to stay the same. I'm not sure why. I've got to admit, I wish somehow, I don't know how, but I wish so bad sometimes that these grill companies, I wish me and Harley could have a grill company consulting firm and just, okay, here's your grill, take it for a month, tell me everything that we got right, tell me everything that you would change, and then send it back to us. I wish we could do that. Because if you're a grill person, if you're, there's no way, for example, if you work for Traeger, and I love Traeger products, use them all the time, but there's no way, I love my Toyota pickup truck. My Toyota Tundra's got 195,000 miles on it. The only thing I've ever done is change the tires, and I just changed the brake pads on it. That's it. Are there things I would change on it? There's still things I would change on it. There's no way that you can work for Traeger and actually take that tailgater out camping or somewhere like that tailgating and put those legs up and down by yourself and not hate them. There's no way. And think to yourself, if you're the one that designed it, I did a crappy job on these legs. I need to change them. There's no way you cannot think that way. Now, I do think that there is with these companies, I think there are times when, so all the parts for that particular reel are stamped out, whatever the case may be. Well, let's say you have stamped out 50,000 of them and you're going to change the design on those legs. Well, okay, so what are you going to do with those other 50,000 legs? Right? You've got to do something with them. So that has to be looked at too. It may not be economical for them to change the legs if that's the case. So you kind of see what I'm saying. There's always more to the backstory than what we as the consumer think. And so, there's got to be a reason, but the consumer in me thinks, and you got to change them legs. So, we've tried to derail him, but no, I'm staying the course. I've had one for years and love it the way it is, but I agree there are some shortcomings. Yeah. And again, don't get me wrong. I've taken that tailgater to Bristol several times, and it has been a workhorse. Cooked Smiley hadn't been on here in a while. Smiley always brings the steaks, and he always has them cut in the next town over and has them marinated, and they're always awesome. Maybe it's the ambiance and all that too, but they're always awesome. Burgers, we always do stuff on that thing, and it's always cooked great. Nothing about it from a cooking standpoint has been bad at all. It's always been great. It's some of the design aspects of being a tailgater. And if you're not one of those people that do tailgating and camping all the time, then you may not ever notice those shortcomings. Do grill companies make prototypes and have focus groups? They do, some of them do, Mike. Let me see. Some of them do. Most of them, I think, try them out with employees first. I'm not sure if that's the smartest. I'm not sure if you're going to get the most honest opinions that way. I think it needs to be more independent people. But they do some of that stuff. How do they pick the people? I think lots of times in recent years, it has been influencers like on Instagram, maybe, YouTube type stuff like that. It may be customers that they have asked. I know, like for me, there for a while, I was answering questionnaires through NASCAR because I had purchased, I've been a frequent NASCAR ticket purchaser. And so they sent me an email asking me a question if I would want to be a part of a focus group for NASCAR type questions. So I did that for several months. They would send me an email and ask me if I watched the race, what I thought about it, and that kind of stuff.
Did you answer that one?
Any issues with Traeger probe accuracy on Pro 780? Probe accuracy. and I'm assuming you're talking about the meat probe. I haven't had any issues, and I hesitate because I want to make sure I'm answering what you're asking. But here's the thing about that question, and this kind of gets me off on a little tangent a little bit. I get a little, I don't know if aggravated is the word. I think people go overboard with these probes and with these controllers. What did somebody ask me the other day, and I didn't exactly know how to answer it. And so I think I just ended up not answering it because I could feel myself getting a little aggravated about it. But it was about a temperature gauge or something. Anyway, here's my point. The meat probe. I haven't had any, I'll be honest with you. I don't know if I've had any problems with the meat probe because I've never tested it for accuracy. Let me go back to this was Jason.
It's way up there.
So any issues with Traeger probe accuracy? Okay. That's the part that I struggle with a little bit. I haven't had any problems with the accuracy because I haven't tested the accuracy of the probe. And this is the funny thing about that. So, for example, you get all these people that, all right, I mean, sometimes people just outthink themselves. So, let's say I'm Mike Tabor, because I like picking at Mike. So I'm Mike, and I'm going to go and I'm fixing to spend $1,000 on this pellet grill. And I'm going to spend $1,000 on this pellet grill, and I'm going to bring it home. I'm going to fire it up. But I've got it set on 275, and it says it's at 275, but I just don't trust that it's accurate. First of all, if I'm spending $1,000 on something and I don't trust it, then I'm not going to buy the damn thing. So that's what blows my mind right off the bat with these people that buy a pellet grill. They spend $1,000 on this thing. They got it home, and now they're going to go buy a $200 external probe to test whether or not the controller is accurate or not. Well, if you didn't think it was accurate, why did you spend $1,000 on the damn thing? That's what aggravates me, the first part. Secondly, so they don't trust the controller, so they go buy a secondary probe to put on the grill grate to test whether or not the controller is accurate. Well, then the external probe is 30 degrees different than the controller. So then they go straight to Facebook on one of the groups and say, I just bought this Jim Bob smoker for $1,000 and the controller's off by 30 degrees. Okay, well, using your logic, now you need to go buy a probe to test that probe, because how do you know that it's right? And then if that one's different than that one, well, then you're going to have to test to see if that one's right. Where does it end? You know what I mean? So I don't do that. I don't do that at all. Again, I've got a thermopop out there. If I use a probe, sometimes I might hit it with the thermopop. It's within a couple degrees. I'm good. I may have done that with that Traeger probe. I just, I've got that probe. I've got the Chimp. I've got the Silverbac. And so I've probably done it with a couple of those. I don't remember which one I did it with, but I just trust them. People are, and so it always goes back. How many of those people have bought a new oven and then put one of those probes inside their oven to see how accurate it was? None of them. They just trust it. How many went and spent $80,000 on these high dollar pickup trucks and don't trust that speedometer when they're going down the road? All of them trust it. They just assume it's right. But for some reason, how many go buy a refrigerator and then test to see what the temperature is inside of it? They just trust it. For some reason, and I don't know why, pellet grills have made people go bonkers with these probes and stuff. And I don't understand it. If I don't think that a controller is going to be right, then I'm not going to spend $1,000. I'm not going to spend $500 on it. So that just blows me away. Really, the only ones that I'm going to test really is like the dial type thermometers, the old school thermometers, because they get banged around and that little needle flops around sometimes on the spring or whatever. I'll test those. Most of them come with an adjustment screw on the back you can adjust and you can dial it in, and then it's good to go. But for me, I just choose to trust it and don't. I'm not going to stress out about it too much.
Hey, Mike, nice to have you tonight.
And I was thinking about that similar topic the other day. Even like for a controller, for example, even if it's wrong, I don't even care. If I set it, on 275, if I set it on 250 and I cook a pork butt, I know that a pork butt is supposed to cook, an 8-pound pork butt. It's going to take about 10 hours, roughly, somewhere in there. So if I set a pork butt on 250, 8-pound pork butt, and it takes 6 hours, I know something's not right. I'll just make the adjustment. Next time I'll cook it at 225. I don't care if it says 700. If an 8-pound pork butt cooks 10 hours and it turns out great, then I'll set it at 700 the next time. And what'd you cook that pork butt at? 700 degrees. And they'll look at me like I'm crazy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, y'all get what I'm trying to say. It's just don't flip out over all that stuff so much. Why can't the grill companies come out with a universal probe instead of having to buy their particular brand? Well, John, first off, I think I don't think that they're that company's brand probe. I think they're all kind of universal. It just depends on what price that those companies are getting them from. But it goes back to cost and what the cheapest bidder was that they found, or whoever they partnered with, or something like that.
Austin.
They're universal probes. They're all thermocouples, but there are different types, JK, etc. Depends on dissimilar metals used to check the temp. Then there are known coefficients which get multiplied by the voltage output. Yeah, I don't know about all that stuff. I just want to stick that thing in the meat and let it tell me what it reads, and then I'll decide when to pull it off. I don't care about anything else.
I think yeah, works at NASA.
Work with NASA. Yeah, that's a little bit above my pay grade there. I wipe noses and tie shoes at the elementary school. How much flavor do you think Super Smoke is adding to my food? I have to keep the temp at 225, but before the ironwood, I would typically cook between 225 and 250. Jace, remind me what grill you have.
You see, Austin, I'm working on this grandpa all day.
Austin, what y'all been working on? Joe Smokehouse. Good to have you tonight. Ironwood 650. All right, Jace. I've talked about the Super Smoke a little bit before. My opinion about this, I've got mixed feelings about the Super Smoke setting. On the old grills, the old Traegers, with just the dial thing and you could click it on Super Smoke, in my opinion, that was a bad idea. I think that caused more confusion than anything for a lot of people. With that being said, the new Pro Series grills like you've got with the Ironwood 650 with that Super Smoke, because of the new D2 drivetrain, you've got a variable speed fan, variable speed auger, which the other ones did not have. That allows better control of the temp and the smoke and that kind of stuff. And with the new Pro Series Traegers, with that Super Smoke setting, I think it's a good thing. I think it's easier for it to keep it at that lower temp with the higher smoke without having an issue than it used to be with the older grills. So with the new drivetrains and that kind of stuff, I think the Super Smoke setting is worth it. Just keeping in mind as well, though, that at some point you're going to pass. Meat is only going to take so much smoke, and at that point you really, kind of not doing anything with the smoke anymore. So just keep that in mind as well.
So we're just did smash burgers.
I did smash burgers on the Kamado Joe soapstone. I've always wanted to try one of those soapstones. I've never.
He said earlier that he got it.
The soapstone, and also like those Himalayan salt blocks. I've seen some guys try those. Those look interesting too. I feel that a Traeger Pro and a GMG will purposely sabotage it. He's retired, and we are selling off his equipment and classic vehicles and antiques. I've been moving things out. That sounds interesting. I agree with you there. My temps are much more consistent. Yeah, I'm a big fan of that variable speed fan and auger. I pretty much run my Pit Boss and Chimp at 250 and get plenty of good smoke. Yeah. I've said it before. Me personally, I don't cook anything above or below 250. I rarely cook anything above 350. I rarely cook anything above 300, really. If I'm cooking something that's got bacon, if I'm cooking bacon or something wrapped in bacon, or anything with chicken skin that I want crispy, then I'll try to cook it at least 300 so it crisps up that bacon or that skin for the chicken. Other than that, I'm a 250 to 300 pellet grill cooker. That's better than working with Grandpa. Yeah.
I'm talking about the weekend.
So that was a really good little conversation there. I need to tell you about this weekend. this weekend there's probably not going to be any cook videos because, which there may, but none here at the Jus Piddlin BBQ headquarters. Brandy and I are going to North Carolina Friday afternoon after we get off work. Going to see a Marine Corps buddy. Me and Bill, we met at Miramar in San Diego, and we've been buddies ever since. One of the best buddies I've got in the whole world. And we always try to get together at least maybe once a year or every couple of years. And when we do, it's always, just like we saw each other yesterday. And we've got a long weekend coming up. We're off Monday, so we're going to head up there, get there Friday night. Saturday, they have booked us a little adventure where we're going to go to Charlotte Motor Speedway, and we're going to take a little ride along in a NASCAR, so that'll be pretty cool. And then they have bought some meat and stuff that we're going to smoke Saturday afternoon or Sunday, and we're going to do some of that. So I may play around with still doing the Sunday morning show. Go out on the little screening porch right there and do a little live Sunday morning show from North Carolina. So be looking for that. I think I'll do that. So that'll be pretty cool. What would that be? On the road
morning show.
Jus Piddlin BBQ show. So we'll do that. So that'll be fun. Then we'll come back Monday and get ready for the following week. So pretty cool stuff. Also, just want to talk about this a little bit. And I'm not going to give a lot of specifics out of respect for the other person, because that's their story. But I may have an opportunity to have add to my grill selection. And through this channel, sometimes I meet people and have opportunities, and sometimes things come up and that kind of stuff. And there's been an opportunity that has presented itself to where I could possibly get another grill, a type of grill that I've always wanted. And it's kind of one of those things that's this opportunity doesn't come around all the time, this type of deal. And it's just going to take some logistics to make it happen. And I'm trying to make that happen. And I'll try to fill you guys in, because if it does, if I do make it happen, obviously this grill will show up on my channel and be used a lot. And I'll be able to tell you more about it then. But really excited about that. And, again, you guys take the trip with me every week. And so I just want to kind of keep you guys in a loop on some things and tell you about those opportunities. And it's kind of fun talking to you about them. So I hope I can get it worked out. It's not going to be easy. But it's just an opportunity and a deal that I can't pass up. So I've got to try to make it happen. And if I can, it'll be really cool. So just kind of be looking for that as well. So, and I'll fill you in more about that when the time comes. So.
Good night, Mr. Mark.
Mr. Mark, thank you so much.
Mr. Mark going.
Thank you so much. Jason, it's gonna be along those lines. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. But I'll fill you guys in more later with that. But really, I will say this, and I do need to say this. Very appreciative that I was thought of with this situation. very appreciative and humbled. So, but that's about all I'm going to say about that part of it. But again, if I can make it happen, then obviously you guys will see it on my channel, no doubt about it. And I'll fill you in more as that opportunity comes closer. So I think that's about it. Edward Sister's Hands, thank you so much for your involvement with the channel and your comments and all of that stuff. And all of you, again, hit that thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe, share it. And if I've caught you on the replay, again, I thank you for watching the replay. So,
yeah, Stephen's got another procedure in the morning.
Stephen, you'll be in our prayers, brother. Please keep us updated on all that stuff. Wheat, good to see you tonight. Always good to see you, brother.
Jeremy, it might be a couple more weeks before I get a video out, just because of us going out of town.
But we're always going to at least try to show, share some stuff on social media, on Instagram, stuff like that.
Yeah, Bobsy.
Keep us updated, Stephen.
They're wanting to know who you are.
By the way, I hadn't even thought about that. I feel outstanding. My heart's ticking like it ought to be now, and since yesterday morning, or probably late Monday night. Was it Tuesday morning?
Tuesday morning.
So, Mike Mosley, thank you so much. Very appreciative of that. Thank you very much. That goes a long way with the channel. So thank y'all. But yeah, I mean, just boom. And I felt like a new person. So I actually went to the doctor Monday. Mm-hmm. And then he was contacting the cardiologist, fixing to expedite what we could do to get this thing fixed. And then I wake up Tuesday morning and I'm fixed. So good news. So thank you for asking. Appreciate all that. Got a lot of comments from you guys and hoping I was doing okay and all that stuff. And I appreciate all that stuff. So Nesquick 2258, I just ordered a Silverbac. Congratulations. That's a big order. I know it's a big decision, but I know you're going to be happy and get a lot of enjoyment out of it. So congratulations. That's huge. Awesome. All right, guys. Good night, everyone. Austin, good night, brother. Thank you very much. Tell your better half that we said hello.
Be careful going home.
But everybody that has showed up tonight, thank you guys so much. You guys are awesome. Just like always, stay tuned for the on-the-road trip to North Carolina. Might do a little live in there on the way or something. I don't know. But pay attention to Instagram, and then I'll definitely try to do the Sunday morning live show from North Carolina while we're up there. So good stuff.
Thanks, Mike.
Very
good
true,
night,
Mike.
Albert.
Mike, you couldn't be farther from the truth, as a matter of fact. So on that note, we will say good night and
have a good rest of the week, everyone.
Until next time, we'll be piddling.